Angel Reese, she continued her long-standing tradition last night of not selling out home games.
The WNBA is facing an uncomfortable truth it desperately wants to keep hidden. Despite all the headlines, all the viral moments, and two of its biggest names squaring off in a hyped showdown, the reality behind the scenes was a total shock. We're talking about a supposed blockbuster game where the stands were conspicuously empty, tickets plummeted to unbelievable lows, and the entire atmosphere felt flat. It begs a critical question: where are the real fans? This isn't just a misstep, it's a glaring symptom of a deeper problem plaguing the league's explosive popularity, one they can no longer afford to ignore.
Fans. Paige Beckers is coming to town. Shout out to Santa Claus. Paige Beckers is, you guys get it. And in their first matchup, they draw a whopping 9,025 people. Where are you guys at? Where are you guys? Where are the Paige Becker supporters? Where are the WNBA supporters? Where are the Reese's Pieces? Where are you guys at?
Angel Reese, a player often declared the very face of the WNBA by major sports outlets, boasts an astonishing online presence, reaching millions across platforms. With her formidable social media following, you'd expect her home games to be a consistent sellout, a vibrant testament to her immense popularity. Yet her highly anticipated clash against Paige Buchers, another rising star with her own substantial fan base, told a starkly different story. Despite all the online chatter, the endless Instagram likes, and the viral TikTok moments, the physical attendance remained underwhelming. It's an uncomfortable truth for a league eager to prove its mainstream appeal. The digital metrics, the follower counts, and the viral clips simply aren't consistently translating into real-world engagement, into actual bodies filling stadium seats.
Ooh. Who has the most TikTok followers? Ooh. Who has the most Twitter followers? Ooh. Who has the most Instagram? Who has the most this? Who has the most that? Who has the most viewership? Who has the most attendance? Who has the biggest impact on the game? We all know the answer to that question.
This isn't just about one game, it's a glaring disconnect between the virtual buzz and the tangible reality of live fan support. Even massive corporate partnerships like Reebok's aggressive backing of Angel Reese, pushing her signature logo and clothing line, seem to be hitting a wall when it comes to converting online adoration into consistent sold-out arenas. The question lingers: if such monumental online influence and brand investment aren't translating into fundamental game attendance, what does that say about the true scope of their impact? It suggests a problem that runs far deeper than mere fan enthusiasm.
I mean, after all, this is the #1 most followed WNBA player on Instagram, followed by the #3 most followed WNBA player on Instagram. And last night, they were in the Wintrust Center, the Wintrust Arena, which holds a capacity of 10.
But the bizarre events surrounding this specific game didn't end with the sparse crowd. The reported attendance figure for Reese's game, a curious 9,025 people, felt strangely familiar. In fact, upon closer inspection, another recent Chicago Sky home game also miraculously recorded the exact same 9,025 attendance number. What are the astronomical odds of two distinct high-profile games drawing the exact same number of spectators? This uncanny repetition immediately triggers alarm bells. Even more perplexing, throughout the entire broadcast of what was supposed to be a marquee matchup, the cameras conspicuously avoided panning out to show the crowd. Not once did they offer a wide shot that might reveal the true extent of the attendance.
Gonna put on a show. So when you see Angel Reese and Paige Beckers locking horns for the first time in the WNBA, you would expect a sellout.
This isn't a minor detail, it's a highly suspicious omission for an event purportedly drawing such a significant crowd. Furthermore, this was not some sprawling distant stadium. Wintrust Arena, with its capacity of around 10,000, is actually one of the smaller arenas in the state. So why, for a game featuring two of the WNBA's supposed biggest draws, wasn't it moved to the much larger United Center, an arena capable of accommodating a genuinely massive crowd? It implies a deliberate decision to keep the game in a small smaller venue, perhaps to make a less than full house appear more respectable. Whispers abound that the league, or perhaps even individual teams, might be fabricating or at least heavily manipulating these attendance figures, desperate to maintain a facade of robust growth that simply isn't matching the on-the-ground reality. It's a move that risks eroding trust and further fueling skepticism among fans.
Yes, this was a traumatic experience, but I was also confused as to why this game was being played at Wintrust Arena. Correct me if I'm wrong here. Paige Bueckers is a big star, right? According to the mainstream media.
If the reported numbers raised eyebrows, the actual ticket sales figures were an outright catastrophe, a public embarrassment that undercut all the league's carefully constructed hype. Picture this: a mere 30 minutes before tip-off, tickets for this supposedly hot game were still readily available on StubHub for a shocking $20. $20 for a matchup featuring two of the WNBA's most recognizable names, players positioned as the future of the league. This price point alone screams lack of demand. And it gets worse. As fans browsed for last-minute seats, they were greeted by a stark, almost desperate message. Hey there, Angel Reese fan. We have sold 41 tickets in the past hour. Just 41 tickets in the final hour leading up to a game of this supposed magnitude. Let that sink in.
Now, according to the media, these are two of the biggest stars in the dump, but for some reason, this high-profile matchup was not moved to the United Center, which I believe is the largest arena in the NBA. With an event of this magnitude, you would think the WNBA would take advantage and move it to an arena that could accommodate an actual crowd. But for some reason, the diva of Dump Divas, Kat Engelbert, she decided to keep the game at Wintrust Arena.
It's not just a slight dip, it's a chilling indictment of the league's ability to convert its heavily promoted stars into paying customers. It meant nearly 1,000 tickets in an arena that only holds around 10,000 remained completely unsold. This stark reality completely shatters the narrative of soaring popularity and unwavering fan devotion. It paints a vivid picture of a league where online follower counts and brand partnerships are not translating into the most basic measure of success, getting people to show up and buy tickets. The contrast between the aggressive marketing, the constant media pushing of these players as league-defining forces, and the grim reality of near-empty stands is nothing short of shocking.
30 minutes before tip-off last night, I checked StubHub to see how many tickets were available. As I pulled up the game, I was greeted by a nice message. Hey there, Angel Reese fan! I see you're interested in tickets. You better hurry. These tickets are hot, hot, hot. We have sold 41 tickets in the past hour. Get them while you can!
All of this leads us to the undeniable, and for some, uncomfortable truth. The singular engine truly driving the WNBA's recent surge in momentum is Caitlin Clark. While the league and certain media outlets push other narratives, the numbers speak for themselves. Clark isn't just a great player, she's a monumental draw, transforming routine games into must-watch events. Her absence from any game, even those featuring other major names, is immediately, palpably felt in the viewership statistics. Take for instance a recent matchup between the Fever and the Mystics. With Clark on the court, that broadcast commanded an impressive 581,000 viewers. But without her, the very same matchup plummeted to a mere 357,000 viewers.
Nearly 1,000 tickets didn't get sold for this game. The #1 most followed WNBA player? Paige Bueckers, the most hyped WNBA player since last year? Very interesting how that works out.
That's not just a dip, it's a catastrophic plunge, a clear indicator of her singular importance. Her games, like the historic Liberty vs. Fever broadcast, have shattered all previous WNBA viewership records, hitting an astonishing peak of 3.24 million viewers. It's clear now, if Caitlin Clark plays on Ion, it's a million-viewer game, consistently. This isn't merely good for the league, it's truly game-changing, showcasing what's possible when an athlete transcends their sport and captures the imagination of an entire nation. She embodies the kind of magnetic star power seen in legends like Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Kobe Bryant, players who pulled in casual fans who had no prior interest in basketball.
Reebok, shout out to Reebok, they go all out for your girl. Reebok already, we're gonna make this Angel Reese's signature logo. They already have a couple PEs ready to go. They have her clothing line. Reebok's behind your girl. Reebok's pushing your girl out there. But how come it's not translating into attendance?
The problem becomes painfully clear when she's not on the court. There's simply no one else consistently generating that same electrifying energy or drawing that same broad cross-demographic attention. Even her own team, the Fever, struggles to generate significant buzz or fill seats when she's sidelined. Attendance issues are cropping up everywhere, and games without her presence feel noticeably flat, lacking that undeniable spark. The WNBA, whether it likes it or not, has become dangerously over-reliant on one player to drive its growth and viewership, a precarious position for any professional sports league aiming for sustainable success.
As you can see right here, the purple areas, these are the areas where tickets were still available. 30 minutes before the game, damn near the entire arena was up for sale. For less than $20, you could see these two legends in their own minds compete for the first time in the WNBA dump.
But the WNBA's challenges extend beyond just attendance and star power. They delve into the very way the league presents itself, the fundamental production quality that either captivates or alienates casual viewers. For a league striving for mainstream recognition, the inconsistency in its broadcast delivery is a critical, self-inflicted wound. Fans have voiced consistent frustrations, particularly regarding the production on networks like Ion. Imagine tuning into a highly anticipated game, only for the broadcast to return late from commercial breaks, missing crucial plays and moments of action. This isn't a rare occurrence, it's a recurring complaint. Furthermore, instead of a polished, cohesive national broadcast, viewers are often subjected to what feels like thrown together local feeds, lacking the professional sheen and consistent quality expected of a major professional sports league. This kind of patchy, unpredictable presentation significantly undermines the league's credibility.
Recognition doesn't always equate to ratings. Social media followers don't equate to attendance ratings. The Chicago Bravado, they have had 2 home games this year. 2 home games against what the media would call high-profile teams, the New York Equality and the Dallas Wankers. And neither game was a sellout. Matter of fact, both games had the exact same attendance number, 9,025. What are the odds of that? What are the odds that 2 back-to-back games have the exact same attendance number?
If the WNBA aspires to compete for the attention of a national audience, it cannot afford to deliver a product that feels haphazard or low budget. These production missteps actively deter casual fans, making it incredibly difficult for them to invest their time and interest. Why would someone new to the sport commit to watching when the viewing experience itself is often riddled with frustrating inconsistencies? It's a barrier to entry that star power alone cannot simply overcome, and it directly impacts the league's ability to grow a loyal, engaged audience beyond its most dedicated supporters.
The ratings came out for the Indiana Fever without Caitlin Clark game. I saw some people actually trying to spin this as a positive, and I was like, they're light, 235,000 viewers. How is that a positive?
Caitlin Clark's presence, and more critically, her absence, isn't just about individual game performance. It's exposing the profound fragility of the entire WNBA ecosystem. The league has, consciously or not, built a significant portion of its recent momentum and newfound attention around her singular star power. And that, as history has shown countless times in professional sports, is an incredibly dangerous game to play. If the WNBA cannot find a way to consistently engage and attract fans across all its teams and games, even when its biggest names aren't on the court or when they face a period of injury, then its current growth trajectory becomes highly questionable.
Was back on and play was happening. In fact, they showed back up, a play happened and there was a foul. And we showed back up as they were readjusting themselves from a foul happening. So I don't know how much we actually missed, but you cannot have that if this league hopes to grow. You can't have productions coming back late to these games. Amazon Prime,
The reality is stark. Hardcore fans, the diehards who live and breathe women's basketball, will likely stick around regardless. But it's the casual viewers, the curious, the ones drawn in by the buzz and the promise of something exciting, who are the lifeblood of mainstream growth. These are the viewers who bring the massive viewership spikes, who generate the national conversations, and who ultimately push the league into a broader cultural relevance. Without Clark's magnetic pull, everything risks stalling. Ticket sales slow down, viewership drops significantly, and even the excitement surrounding other headliners, like Angel Reese, begins to fizzle without that central comparison point, that undeniable catalyst for attention.
In my opinion, the WNBA still has a major problem with the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark still looking like the only draw. In my opinion, these ratings are pathetic, and the leagues to change the rules to make the game more enjoyable.
The WNBA desperately needs to figure out how to foster sustained interest across all games and develop a robust, broader engagement strategy that doesn't solely hinge on one or two marquee players. The alternative? A future where the league remains confined to a niche, unable to capitalize on its current moment and truly cement its place in the mainstream sports landscape. It's a critical moment, a disaster averted only if drastic changes are embraced.
I mean, they got a problem. And if this team plays like it played last night, the WNBA's got a serious problem. Okay? Because let's say you were still keeping some casual viewers. You will lose them if they believe this team is not good.
So the question hangs heavy in the air. What truly happens next for the WNBA?
Disaster. And a lot of people were like, well, Caitlin Clark's not growing the game if people won't tune in with her. Look, people tuned out when Jordan went to baseball. They tuned out of the NBA when Jordan went to baseball. And then when Jordan retired, they tuned back out again until Kobe.
We've pulled back the curtain on a league, grappling with a stark reality, the vast chasm between its online hype and the chilling truth of empty seats. We've examined the suspicious attendance numbers that raise more questions than answers, the embarrassing ticket sales that expose a fundamental lack of real-world demand, and the undeniable yet precarious reliance on Caitlin Clark as its sole engine of growth. We've also shone a light on the often overlooked issue of inconsistent broadcast quality, a barrier to engaging casual fans. The WNBA is at a crucial inflection point. Can it pivot from an unsustainable model built on the shoulders of one superstar to a truly robust, consistently engaging league, or will it continue to struggle with the harsh truth that viral moments and social media fanfare alone are simply not enough to build a lasting mainstream sports empire? After witnessing $20 tickets and shockingly sparse crowds, what do you believe is the real solution? The future of the WNBA and its aspiration for mainstream glory hangs in the balance.